And who are you this game?
I'm the Ember Spirit.
You're the Ember. Oh, that's right. Okay, you're mid. All right.
Yeah.
So you said it just felt like people were like throwing a lot. Both teams were throwing a lot.
Yeah, so I don't want to say I win my lanes all the time, but that was also a tough decision for me which replay to show you because my main hero is Void Spirit, so I really like the spirit, and
Okay.
started to practice Ember Spirit also, and now I'm practicing Lina the last days because I think this would be a pretty sweet pool to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the mobility of these heroes. So my problem is I think I don't put out enough damage. That's what I struggle because usually my laning phase I think for my rank should be okay. So they can't really beat me that much. I struggle against snipers and shadow fiends sometimes if they're good.
Yeah, Shadow
But
Fiends can be a
but
problem.
yeah, but other than that, I think the first like 10-15 minutes I'm okay. So I try to stay at the tower as long as I can, get to six, and then I check the side lanes, which one needs help or should I stay on the lane? Because usually if I leave the lane, nobody else takes it, and the enemy mid just takes my tower, which is bad.
Right.
and yeah, and yeah, you will see. So let me know anything you see because I'm lacking basic knowledge for sure a lot because that's what I also like about this game. You always learn something new.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm also watching replays, I'm watching YouTube, I'm watching streams, I'm watching pro plays. I subscribed to Game Leap for a couple of, I think like 2 months. I basically watched all the videos I cared about. I subscribed to Gamers Class also. I watched Topson and Sume mid classes. So I'm trying to gather the knowledge,
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you've been watching a
but
lot.
yeah, I do. So, but I don't see the results, and I'm not sure. So I have to be the problem also for sure. I will do crazy stuff sometimes,
Of course.
but I just feel like I don't know how you get out this Herald uh, thing alone if you solo queuing, you know. So that's my
Yeah.
problem.
All right. Well, we'll take a look. I'll definitely point out things I see, and then at the end we'll probably have a pretty good idea of like what you're doing wrong. Um, and hopefully we'll give you some steps to start doing some
Improve on.
general improvements.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you always start with your sleight of fist on Ember?
No, it rather depends, but I also have to state that usually I do the guide, and if the build suggests that I should take that one, unless I'm pretty sure I need something else, I will just follow the guide.
Okay.
I have some, so this I never really played against mid Slardar, so
Right.
usually I would take the other one, but I think this guide was suggesting a sleight of fist. And if I see that my team wants to fight for the runes, I rather take sleight of fist than what is it called? My E.
Right. The flame shields,
Yes,
flame
flame guard
guard.
or whatever. Yeah.
So here's the thing: is conceptually mid a lot has to do with like if you can trade well with the opponent,
hmm
and like Ember's main like way to win trades is with his flame shield, flame guard.
hmm
So it like kind of just makes the enemy not be able to hit you back. Like
Yes.
there's almost no matchup where like if you have flame guard up, like the enemy can just hit you. Like maybe like a
hmm
monkey king, but that's like it. Um,
hmm
so I would definitely favor taking flame guard almost always. Like your W doesn't really like it's really low
Yeah, they nerfed
CD
it the last
or high
couple of
CD. I mean,
patches.
it doesn't do a lot of damage. and it doesn't like help you win trades. So I would like almost always favor going Flame Guard, despite whatever your guide is telling you to do, just because you can just pop it on the first wave and like kind of CS for free a little bit if you need to. You don't have to like immediately pop it for no reason, but like if the guy wants to like fight you, you can just turn it on and then you're fine. Like very few heroes can like break through the magic damage without like more than one spell, and you don't have more than one spell at level 1. So I would lean towards taking your Flame Guard pretty much always.
So I would say this was the exception. So I would say I rather take Flame Guard. This was like, I don't know why. This was a new guide I was switching to. Maybe that's fine. But let's say I take 80% of the time Flame Guard.
Okay.
I would say.
That's reasonable. What's going on here? So you did a little bit of defensive aggro. They didn't follow you, which means he doesn't have a ward. It's not a big deal. Yeah, see how your W doesn't really like help you secure last hits? It's very unreliable in terms of like helping you secure last hits, and as a result, I mean, this guy's like denied like every creep on you except for one, right? He got 3 denies on you, so like this, it like really hurt you not having your Flame Guard here. And I know it like seems small, but like in mid, the first wave like matters kind of a lot because it determines who's going to be ahead. Like usually for like the first couple levels. So I just want to throw that out there. Like getting your Flame Guard level 1 and like using it on the first wave is like almost always going to give you a better start than like any other build you can go. You shouldn't be clicking your abilities. Like I saw your mouse like come down here and click it. But if you hold control and then press whatever your hotkey is, it'll like automatically skill it, which can be really useful because like here, you leveled up to level 2 right now, and this guy's standing in a creep wave.
Yeah.
So like of 5 creeps, like a lot of creeps, and he's already a half HP.
You mean if I have to level up any of the skills? That's what you mean, right?
Yeah. So you hold like you could hold control and press Q or W right now and level up one of these abilities. So
that's one thing I don't use. I have to be honest. I always click it.
Yeah, you need to start doing it.
I realize in a lot of situations that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, so you need to start using control to level it up because you just need to be able to do things faster. A lot of getting better is just, even if you know the right thing to do, like if you're doing it too slow, like it's not going to be very good. Versus if you do the right, if you're like doing things faster, you'll take advantage of opportunities more. So like right now, like you should level up your searing chains, and you should use your searing chains because it's going to hit this Slardar and you're going to kill this creep, and this Slardar is going to have 5 creeps hitting him, and it's going to do a ton of damage to him, which is really important. Yeah. So instead, you just kind of like, you're not even contesting the creep. You're like kind of turning around. And he gets like a free deny, and he still takes some damage from the creeps, but like, right? Like he was in a very bad situation there, and you didn't punish him at all. And you weren't even ready. And then you like level up your E now, which is fine. But that would have been like in the moment if you had taken your searing chains. You almost could have killed him. I don't think he would have died, but you would have been really close to killing him. Okay, you missed a slight. Not a big deal. Okay, so now you have your E and you're pressing it. Alright, first blood, that's cool. Nice job. So you took Flame Guard level 2, that's fine. You gotta fly your bot a lot faster. So like, it's super, super important as a mid player to like use your courier as fast as possible, and like I don't expect you to like be as fast as like someone at my level, right? That's just not gonna happen. But it is really important to do it as fast as you can for you. And so like you get the kill, and then you're not getting hit by the tower, right? Like right here, as fast as you can, you need to buy this bottle and fly it out to yourself. Because at the 2-minute rune, you want to have your bottle already, and it takes your courier like 30 seconds to get your bottle all the way out to lane. So
I
because
see.
you don't fly it out very fast, you're just not going to have it quite in time for when the runes come. And like I think you're waiting. It seems like you're waiting maybe for more gold for your Blightstone to fly it both out
Yeah,
at
that's
once.
what it was. Yeah.
But it's too important to get your bottle faster. Like you can't wait like this,
Hmm.
because you have no regen. Well, you have tangos, but like you don't have any mana regen, and these water runes are about to come. And because of how the water runes refill your bottle, it's just so much regen, which
Hmm.
sustains you in the lane. So you're kind of like this. Basically, is throwing away your advantage. The fact that you're not flying your bottle out, like you got an advantage, and now this guy's gonna respawn with full resources, and you're gonna be low, even with
Hmm.
these tangos, and like he's gonna be stronger than you, even though you're level 3 and he's level 2, just because he has full HP and you do not.
I see.
So the timing of the bottle, and see, you're like racing for this rune, but like it doesn't matter because you don't have your bottle. So like, even if you get it, it's only a little bit.
Hmm.
I mean, he's faster than you anyways, because he went a shorter way. Because see, now you're running for the other one. You're still going the longer way.
And I still lose
Yeah,
that one.
and it you needed to have your bottle, and you needed to just go get one of these. Like you needed to use all your bottle chargers and then go get one of these. And now you
Mm.
just completely lost your advantage, like completely. Is this guy gonna kill you? Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, it's almost got your courier. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You had,
He was bad, you know. First, this was my first matchup against the mid Slardar. So in the beginning, I wasn't sure about what to do. But after a couple of minutes, I realized he's not that good. So at least in the laning phase, he wasn't that good. But you will see what happens.
Well, I don't really care who you're playing against for the hero. I mean, like I'll like point out like certain things you can do if I see the opportunity, but like I know that your opponent's going to be bad because you're in Herald. Like you're all bad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
about
for
improving
sure.
yourself. You should
Yes.
not expect your opponents to like make amazing plays, right? You just need to like focus on yourself, and you will do a lot better.
Mm.
So here, you need to be paying attention to the creeps again, and because if you were paying attention to creeps, you would W right here to get this last hit on this creep with 44 HP. You can just use your
Hmm.
W right now and get this last hit. So you're just like not even paying attention. He just gets a free deny. So you have to like the creeps are like the only thing that really matter. Like getting the runes are important. Um, and like you kind of like missed both runes while the creeps were just hitting each other in the mid lane. But you've got to focus more on like the creeps, especially if nothing else is happening. Like when other stuff is happening, like I understand like you don't have quite the focus or like the experience to like stay focused on the creeps, but like when nothing else was happening like that, you gotta
Hmm.
like focus on the creeps, right? Use whatever abilities you need to get the last hits. So you tried to use your W there, it didn't really work. So this is, and I'll say this too, you have to use your bottle. Like the courier brought the bottle out to you forever ago, and you're just sitting here not using your bottle. It's really important to not sit on 1/3 HP. You have to like try and maintain your health as high as possible. You know, like if you don't have
Yeah.
any resources, that's okay. But like you have a full bottle and you're just not using it. Yeah, and see now, like this guy's like hitting you, and like if you had bottled up before, you'd have like way more HP, and then you could just chase this guy. But instead, you didn't use any of your bottle charges, and now you have to run away, or like you don't feel comfortable fighting back, and like that's just because you're not using the resources that you have. Like now, you're finally using your bottle. What is this guy doing? Oh, it's weird. I don't know why this guy is running around, but okay, you're like punishing. That's good. So you finally use your bottle. Just say do that sooner. Like don't sit on low resources a lot.
Usually I do. You know, I say that. So usually I empty my bottle as soon as
Okay.
I can. I don't know what happened here, but yeah, it's understandable. And now I see that I don't really watch my replays. That's also a problem. Probably I should watch more replays. What could I have done better?
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna tell you that like you say you do, but I have a feeling you probably do not do it as much as you think you do. Like, this is just a random replay,
So
and I'm telling you, like, it's probably not random that this is the one time that you forgot to, like, use your bottle
for sure,
soon.
for sure, for sure, for sure. I think I could use more often my flame guard also, because a lot of the times I'm just, oh, it's not on. I should have got it on. It's not on. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I have to change my headphones. My sound's being really weird. Just a second.
Okay.
All right, say something.
I'm back. I'm back.
All right,
I'm back.
we're good. So yeah, I agree. You have to use your bottle more. It's just when you're low on resources, use what you have to like get back. Even if it's not to 100%, right? Even if it's to 2/3 instead of 1/3, that's gonna be better. You'll just die less often if you're sitting at full HP more often. And here, I want to point this out because I think this is kind of a mistake, is you use your Flame Guard here for no reason. So remember I said that your Flame Guard, like, it lets you get creeps and they can't really fight you back? But if this guy's not here in the first place, there's no reason for you to use your Flame Guard here. This guy's not here. He's not trying to fight you for these creeps. These are like free creeps where you're last hitting uncontested.
I see.
There's just no reason to burn the mana, and the cooldown's really long. And now, like, once this is over, you're not going to have it for a long time. So then if this guy wanted to fight you, I mean, he's really low right now, so he probably won't. But, like, just this habit of using this for no reason is going to hurt you in the long run. It's just suboptimal in every way. So don't use your spells if you don't need to. Like, killing these creeps faster does not accomplish anything for you. And, okay, you don't even get them all. So, yeah, I don't think that was a good usage of your E. You definitely should only use it, like, if the other person's trying to fight you, or if you're trying to, like, kill them or something, you know? Alright, so you pushed it in. Are you, like, going for a stack here? What's going on?
Yeah, I tried.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of messed it up. You can... It's hard, honestly. Like, I'm not a big fan. No, I'm not a big fan. I find it hard to stack this camp myself sometimes. What you have to do is you have to wait until, like, 355 and then hit it once before they aggro you, so you can't, like, let them start attacking you first. So you just wait at 355, and then you hit it once, and then you walk towards the rune. And then it should stack, and then you hit the rune. So just at the, like, or it's not 355, right? It's at, like, the whatever minute is, and then 55-second mark is kind of what you should be looking to do for, like, this camp. Same with this camp, too, if you're on the other side.
So it's easier for me to stack the other side, because I just hit it, you walk down the ramp, and that's it. It basically gets the job done. But this one somehow, sometimes they get stuck on the tree here on the corner or something. Yeah, I don't know. But this time I walked inside of it. I didn't want to, but somehow I aggroed them without hitting them. And that's why I messed it up. I tried to fight it till 55 and then walk down the ramp. But you see, it didn't work.
Yeah, if it's daytime, the creeps will, like, hit you if you walk really close to them. So you have to, like, not walk that close. Like, even if you don't attack them, they'll still start attacking you. Versus if it's nighttime, they won't start attacking you until you attack them, which is, like, a really weird mechanic. But
I didn't know that.
yeah. So I don't blame you for not knowing that. So you got the bottle, the water rune, which is good. Here, I would never do this where you walk these creeps under your tower. What you should do is you should hold them here on the high ground, like what they call staticking the wave on your high ground, like holding the creeps outside of your tower. I'm sure if you watch, like, Thompson or whatever, like, he does this all the time. It's really important that these creeps, like, get to right here, because in the next wave, because they have a next wave coming too, is going to meet, like, right here on your hill, which is really advantageous for you. And so if you just, like, you have to let them hit you for a second or two as these creeps finish walking up, but then you can hold it on your hill, and then you don't have to worry about the tower either, because the tower makes it hard to last hit, because you walk these under your tower, and then you miss the last hit. There, that one you got, but you, like, missed one that, like, in theory you probably shouldn't have missed, right?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, focus. If this is, like, you can't hold them outside your creeps outside your tower forever, right? Like say, so like you're right here, right? This is where you could do it, right? And you didn't. Like say these creeps are like way back here, right? Then it wouldn't make sense to do it because you don't want to wait like 12 seconds and not do anything. But when they're really close, then you should do it.
Yeah, but so it makes sense, right, as you explain it. But my thought process before it was to let them in tower range so I can last hit them faster, so I can kill them faster with the help of the tower. Because yeah, so tower has to hit them like I think 6 times, and then I have to last hit them something like this.
Why do you want to do it faster though? Let me ask you that.
So I don't know. Honestly, I can't really answer that question. I thought that was better, but don't really know why.
Yeah, I mean, there's like in certain cases, like in high level Dota, it can be good to like have these creeps die faster. But at your level, I honestly just care more that you like focus on getting them. I don't care if you do it super fast. That's why I said like don't use your flame guard as well. And you do it again on this wave actually here. You use your flame guard again. Like don't do this. Don't when the other guy's not here, don't do this. Just take your time, focus on getting the last hits, and save your mana. Like see you missed another one there. And you're not gonna hit every single one. I'm just saying like I'd rather you slow down and just focus on getting the last hits as opposed to like thinking you need to do it faster and like pulling it over the tower, okay?
Okay.
So the Slardar is gone. You hit the tower a little bit. That's fine. Okay. A little aggression. Yeah, you're like flame guarding off cooldown, which I don't... Like, if the guy's not fighting you, it's just not good to do. I almost kills you. Yeah, because here... Like, if you had Flame Guard right now, or like, if you... It's almost over. I think it's actually still going, but it's almost over.
It's still going, yeah.
Bug, yeah. But, like, if you had it up the whole time, then you could, like, almost consider fighting him. Maybe not, but... If you had taken those tower shots also, he couldn't have done that. But that's okay. So you're flying yourself a salve. I think that's reasonable. You don't have a rune coming. The other thing you could do is you could have just gone back to... Well, not yet, but you could, like, go back to base. You'd miss a creep wave. But it's a consideration. Sometimes it's just better to go back to base. We'll see if you get this rune. Yeah, you don't get the rune. It's important if you can remember... I mean, I don't always remember this, although I'm not a mid player. If you can buy an observer ward around this time and have another one for your lane, it's like really important to do, because then you can see which side the rune spawns on, right?
Yes.
Like, because if you're getting these runes faster, you will just like... You'll just be so much stronger. Like, if you can make it a point to get these runes more than your opponent. So yeah, here you notice you're like not... You're too scared, right, to walk up?
I have no mana, yeah.
Yeah, you have no mana. So, when you don't get the rune here, you're low resources, and you didn't get the rune. So, like, you're salving, but, like, you have no mana. So, how are you going to get mana again?
So, now I could leave a remnant here, TP back to base, and come back to the remnant. That would be probably the best way.
Yeah, you need to go to base here. You don't even have to TP. You could just walk. If you just drop a remnant and walk to base, get full health and full mana, and then remnant back to your lane. It's really important that, like, especially on mid, that you just do not sit around with, like, no mana. Because you can't...
I can't do anything with that.
anything. You can't get last hits. You're too afraid. You can't help if a fight starts. You know, you can't fight back if the other guy is aggressive on you. What you're doing right now is just so inefficient. Now, I promise you, if you want to get out of Herald, like, you can't keep doing this. This is what Herald players do. They sit around with low resources and they just don't do anything. So if you want to get out of Herald, you got to stop sitting around with 0 mana. You have to. You just can't do this. Like, I don't care if you're doing really well in lane. I don't care if you're doing really bad in lane. It doesn't matter how you're doing in lane. You just can't do this.
Thanks for playing Dota 2.
So you have to tell yourself, like, oh, I'm going to go back to base. Like, you finally do it here. You could have walked back to base and had full mana and already been back. Like, and then you'd have a TP up if you wanted to go anywhere else. I like that you finally did it now. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that you did it. It just could have been way faster. And that's what you got to work on, right? Like doing something 45 seconds late is just too slow.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so you're not really checking the rune again. It's 8 minutes. So definitely look to be checking the rune as close to the timer as you can remember. And having a ward will help, because even if you don't remember, you'll like see it if it spawns sometimes. Yeah, here you're using your mana again for no reason. You're just using it to clear the creeps under your own tower. So just, I have a feeling you do this a lot because I'm seeing you do it a lot.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, just stop using your flame guard to farm. Only use it like if there's a enemy and you're like fighting them and they're like close to you. It's the only time you should use it. Yeah, I don't mind you hitting the tower here. Okay. What's going on? Wow. The jug is crazy. Use your bottle? Wow, you did use your bottle. Alright, that was cool. Alright, and so here, I mean, I'm just gonna say, like, right here where you use your flame guard, I actually think this is okay. Because your Slardar's going to come back soon, and you don't want to be here anymore when he comes back, and you want to kill all these creeps before he comes back. So to me, you have a good reason here to kill these creeps as fast as possible. But like all these other times you've been doing it, you don't have a good reason to kill them as fast as possible. So I would rather you like not do it here and just not do it at all, unless there's a guy there, rather than do it every time, and this one time out of like 8, it happens to be good. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to not be doing it, and then I have to tell you, oh, here, you should have used it. So I need you to do like the opposite. I just need you to never use it, and you'll just have more mana all the time, and you'll have it ready when you actually do need it more often. Okay, so here you have to check the rune. You do. Okay, you checked the rune here. That was good. This is the fastest you've done it so far.
You know, I have, what's it called, Dota Coach or something like this, so it announces every 2 minutes the runes, every 3 minutes the bounty runes and stuff like that. When the neutral item spawns 7 minutes and stuff.
Like a program or something?
Yeah, in the background. You know, Dota Plus and these apps, these programs? Yeah, I'm using those, so... I was paying already attention for the runes every 2 minutes and stuff. 6 minute rune also very important, right? But sometimes I still miss it, or if I can go for it, depends. Yeah, depends.
For mid lane, it's just all about kind of keeping your eye on the clock. You know, it tells you a lot of like what you need to be ready to do at your level. Honestly, you just need to get better at like last hitting and like managing your abilities, which like I'm telling you, if you stop using your flame guard all the time and then just focus on last hitting and not like drawing it under tower and making last hitting hard on yourself, your life will just be easier. I'm just gonna tell you that. So here what I would have done actually is you picked up this rune, right?
Yes.
It's an illusion rune. So like this illusion rune is not really gonna help you get a kill, right? It's not like a DD or an arcane or a haste, right? It's kind of like It's like the worst rune Ember can get at this phase in the game, right?
It is.
So what I would do if I were you is I would immediately use this and then drink the bottle charges it gives you, and then just go get this bounty rune and get even more bottle charges and get all your HP and mana back. Because again, you got the skills, you cleared the creep wave, you got the rune. I want you to be back to full HP as fast as possible, dude. Like, so running over here, You're not using your bottle. If you had a different rune, like if you had a really good rune, it would be a little different, honestly. Like if you had like a haste or a DD, you probably wouldn't want to use it right away. And you could like run to base really quick, right? You could drop a remnant and go run to base and then come back and you still have your aggressive rune. But with like a bad rune, just use it and get the bottle charges and then go get the other one and then come back, right? Get full health and mana. Because now you're laning here and you don't want to walk up to this guy. Granted, there's 2 of them. So now you're doing it. You're just late. Alright, alright. Oh, you did it. Wow, that was cool. The guy just casually fed to you. That's nice. Yeah, here you do die. It's hard to say you could have done anything differently here. When the Jakiro shows up, I think...
yeah, I saw him late.
What... Technically, you should live here because you have... You're only 20 mana off Remnant, and you have a Wand. So if you throw your Remnant out, like, over here, and then Wand, you have enough mana to, like, get to it and get away. That's kind of high level. I honestly don't hate that you, like, die. I don't blame you for dying here, honestly. That's kind of hard to do. You're just probably not mechanically there, so it's okay.
Did he have his arcane boots on cooldown? So see, he just pushed it right after I died.
I mean, don't assume that your teammates are ever gonna help you. Like, please do not rely on your
that's the
teammates.
thing. That's the thing. That's so rewarding if they do, and if they're not, it just pisses me off. So sorry if I flamed them.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it happens sometimes.
You just have to think about it this way, dude. You are just as bad as they are, and you are the only one who's going to get yourself out of this, so you can't spend your energy getting mad at your teammates, right?
Yeah,
like,
shouldn't.
There are people that are just like you, trying to learn the game, not very good at it. Like, you just can't have any expectations for them. Like, getting mad is just wasting your own energy. I would like to see you use these wards. I think somebody gave them to you. I don't know if you bought. Did you buy these or did somebody give them to you?
I did buy it because I think I wanted the ward somewhere because the support didn't really do.
Right.
But I think.
Okay, so you do use them right now. That's funny. Right as I mentioned it, that you used it.
Usually they don't really ward the supports in my clan. So, you know, I started playing support, so that's the only thing I was paying attention in the beginning as I started to learn this game, to buy the wards and try to place them on places where they matter, where we can take a fight or we can see if they're farming there or whatever. But if I'm playing mid, the other supports don't really do it.
Yeah, and it's okay to buy your own
wards.
That's
my experience.
I think it's fine to buy your own wards in Herald. I mean, even, honestly, anybody can buy their own wards. I don't care what their MMR is. If your supports aren't buying them and they're available, just buy them yourself. So here, you forgot about the rune again. It's 1230. There's a double damage right here. You just forgot. So you got to get better about the runes. That'll just make you a better mid player. That's all it is. You get more runes, you'll be a better mid player. Yeah, you're like still... Man, I really want you to go get this rune. I think you're finally going to get it now? No, you're like using your bottle and you're just like still forgetting about it.
So this was really dumb. So afterwards, I could have really used it here.
Yeah, that would have been great if you'd had it there. You see it! It's there!
Awesome.
It's on your map! Oh my gosh.
He's taking it.
I mean, that's your fault, not his fault. It was there for over a minute and you just forgot about it.
Yes, sir. Too distracted with the fight.
So you're farming now. I actually don't hate this because you like have a bunch of mana. What are you gonna do now? You're gonna go base? Okay, so you flew yourself out the TPs. You like left a remnant and then realized you didn't have your TPs yet.
Yes.
Oh no! You can't do this. You already walked halfway back to base. Why did you TP the rest of the way?
Yeah. I knew it was bad, but I wanted to get ASAP.
No,
that's why.
You need to slow down, which is crazy. Like, I need your brain to work faster, but I need you to not be in such a rush. because you're missing CS that you shouldn't miss. You're like wasting your TPs, right? You just don't have the ability to TP anywhere to help your team. I need you to slow down a little bit, actually. Like, you like want to get places faster, and I don't like hate that you want to do that, but you're just doing it so inefficiently. So inefficiently. Like, it's just bad for you to actually be doing this. You're like trying to farm the ancients? Your hero doesn't farm ancients, really. I mean, this is like kind of working. I don't think this is a good use of your time. I mean, I guess that wasn't too long. Any other ancient camp, and that would have taken you way longer, and you would have taken way more damage. So don't, like, if you want to come back and farm this camp, that's fine. Farm the big camp. Don't try and farm the ancients at the same time. You're like I mean, it's 14, 15 minutes into the game. You're like
maybe later.
Doesn't take ancients. Yeah, maybe later. But you're not like a TA or a Medusa or like even like a Lina can do it a little bit faster than like you. But like if you're like a Storm or an Ember or a Void Spirit, like just don't hit the ancients. It's just not efficient enough.
Okay.
So you're like remnanting backwards? Alright. Walk in for a free kill. So you're running looking for kills. Yeah, so we are now at the phase in the game. Just gonna go back a whole minute here. We are now at the phase in the game where you need to like, and I had a feeling I was gonna see this. You need to care more about lane creeps and pushing out lanes. So like, I want you to listen to what I'm about to tell you and like just try and conceptually understand this, because if you can understand this, you will like, if you can understand this and act on it appropriately, even to like a mid-level, like you don't even have to do this well. If you can just do this mediocrely, you will gain 1,000 MMR. I promise you. You
pushing out lanes.
To push out lanes, dude.
Okay. So that's always my dilemma. Should I fight with my team or push out lanes?
I'm telling you, there's no dilemma. You are jungling. You're jungling, not pushing out lanes. And then you walk into their jungle. The guy runs away from you. And then you jungle some more. Look at, you're jungling more. And then you're jungling more. There's no dilemma. You're not choosing between helping your team or pushing lanes. You're jungling. That's not either of the two things that you said you were choosing between. So I need you to understand that you're not doing it right now. I don't need to see 20 replays from you. You're just not doing it right now, and it's okay because nobody in Herald is doing it. It's not just you. You have to go push out lanes, dude. You have to. Because how Dota works is you push out the lanes, and then I'm gonna reverse engineer this. You want to kill their ancient. To do that, you need to kill them first.
The towers.
You need to kill the towers, but like to take any tower or building, you usually need to kill them first, right? To take good fights to kill them, it is very helpful to A, have more heroes than they do at the fight, because then you'll probably win, and B, to have information on whether you have more heroes or not. The only thing that matters, because once any Dota game hits about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, the only thing that matters for team fights is who has more people. And the only way that you can ensure that you have more people is to split the enemy up and then to have the information that they're split up. So like wards give you information, but creeps walking down lanes gives you information, and it makes them react to the creeps hitting the towers. So nobody at your bracket pushes out lanes, so nobody has good information about where the enemy is, and nobody has to split up if they don't, like, everybody is split up because nobody's pushing out waves, but like the way it's supposed to work is you're supposed to push out the lanes so that the enemy has to respond, and then you group with your team while the enemy splits up to deal with the creep waves that you've pushed into their side of the map. And then while the enemy is split up, you group with your team and you kill them. And then you take an objective. So if you don't push out lanes, then whenever you do group up with your team, like, there's nothing that's causing the enemy to be split up. So you're just randomly going to run into them. You might not have all your teammates. They might all be grouped up instead of you. Because, like, if nobody pushes out any lanes, which is what happens in most Herald games all the time, and then you guys run as a group, or like as 4 heroes, into their side of the map, what's going to happen is you were on your side, and they were on their side, and then you ran to where they were, so they're naturally going to be more grouped up, because that's where they already were. And then they'll just have like a high ground advantage. They'll have a numbers advantage probably, unless you can get your whole team to join you, which is like impossible in Herald.
Yes, sir.
So you need to push out lanes because it will force them to split up. And then when you group with your team, you will have more people at these fights than they do. So you just have to not be jungling like this. I'll slow it down a little bit. We'll talk more about like regular Dota, but like conceptually, that is how you have to think about Dota. And the fact that you've been jungling for like 4 minutes straight just tells me that you're just the average Herald, which is okay, right? That's why you're getting coached. Push out lanes, my friend. I need to see you pushing out lanes like a madman. And then, once you've pushed out a lane all the way in to where you feel like if you go further, you'll die, then you join your team. Then you join your team and you go fight them, right? I'm not saying never fight them. I'm saying push in lanes first, no jungling, then join your team, then fight them.
Yeah, I don't like to swear, but I think this one isn't it. So usually my team flames me because I'm rather pushing out lanes than joining them to fight. But I will show you more replays.
I literally don't believe you. I literally
I
don't believe you that they're not. It's not that I don't believe that they're flaming you. I just don't believe that you're pushing out lanes well. Because if you were pushing out lanes well, you wouldn't be Herald. I promise you. If you're pushing out lanes well, you're not Herald.
All right. We'll see. We'll see. I send you so many replays I can.
I'm not gonna watch all your replays. Man. You just,
I know.
You gotta show me what you gotta show me if you sign up for another session.
I will.
Here. This is what I'm talking about, right? So you killed the jug. You kind of saw the Slardar. You're pushing out this lane. This is good. I like that you're pushing out this lane. And then this is where you need to rejoin your team. Right now. You push the lane out all the way to the tower. Your hero does not hit towers. You're not a tower-hitting hero.
Okay. So just push it out and leave it there.
And then rejoin your team. If you walked straight over here right now, you could help your team. And instead, what's happening is you hit this tower while your witch doctor's dying and you're not help. You could help here, right? You could be helping. Like, your bristleback's strong. And what happened is they had more heroes than you did because your TA was doing whatever and you were hitting a tower as Ember Spirit. So the key is to push out lanes all the way and then go rejoin your team.
But can I ask you something though? Wouldn't it be better as a team that they retreated to get this tower instead of fighting there?
No.
Okay.
Because it's too early. It's too early to take this tier 2. Like, you guys aren't that strong. Like, your heroes are strong relative to their heroes. Like, you're ahead by a lot of gold. But, like, before, like, 20 minutes, it's, like, too early to actually take this tier 2. Like, maybe if your Bristleback and your TA were both here, and the Bristleback tanks and the TA with a Deso is, like, hitting the tower, maybe you can take it. But, like, otherwise, it's just too early in the game to try and, like, force this tower. So, what happens at high-level Dota is you push in all the lanes, and you have really good information, and then you group up, kind of like what your team was doing. They weren't doing it because they're good. They're just doing it because they're crazy people.
Landed there.
And you kill them. You push in the lanes, and then you group up, and if they walk into you, you kill them. And then you go back to the lanes, push them in again, and group up. And then if they walk into you, you kill them. And then after you've killed them for a little while, and, you know, pushed in the lanes and farmed a little bit, then you have enough items and levels to where you can take this tower. Or take Roshan, or whatever. But, like, you can't force it too early. So, like, it's hard to give an exact time because there's no like exact specific way you have to play every game. But I would say, like, in general, especially in like a Herald game, don't ever try and take a tier 2 tower before like 20 minutes. Like, if you guys do really well and you kill them and push all the way into the tier 2 tower, don't try and take it. Just walk to the next lane, push it in, like look for more kills. And wait until it's like 20 minutes, I would say. It's just like it's not like, this isn't a hard law, but I would just set this general, just so you have an idea of like, when are we probably strong enough? It's like around 20 minutes.
Okay, when it's go time.
Yeah, 20 minutes is like, take towers time. Like, maybe we take a tier 2, right? You still want to like, sometimes you have to kill them first, right? Before that happens. But, yeah, 20 minutes is around the time you should be looking to take like a tier 2 if you're strong and you feel like you can, right? Just because you guys are strong, if it's before 20 minutes, you probably still aren't strong enough to take a tier 2. So here you TP bottom and you're farming the lane. So I like it, except for this. I don't like that you're hitting the tower again.
Okay.
You're going to have games. So this game, you have 2 heroes that can hit towers. TA and Bristle are both okay at hitting towers. Your hero never hits towers, my friend. Never. Now, there will be games where you'll have, like, you'll be Ember, and you'll have, like, you know, your off-lane Zeus or whatever, and your carry is, like, also a hero that doesn't hit towers. Like, pretend your carry hero is, like, a Slark or something. Or, like, I don't know. Or like a Faceless Void even. Like, Faceless Void is not like a great tower hitter. So in those games where you have nobody that hits towers well on your team, you just have to kill them all first. And then you hit their tower while they're dead, because then they can't stop you. So there's 2 types of games, and in neither of them are you as Ember really important. Or like, it's never important for you specifically as this hero to hit towers. In games where you have tower hitters on your team, let them do it always, because you'll just get caught doing this. Like, good teams will punish you for like hitting this tower. They're like, why is this Ember hitting this tower, right? They'll have a lion, they'll have a shadow shaman, and they'll just like stun you and disable you, and then you'll die because you're just hitting a tower for no reason. So you are pushing the lanes well. You know, you were jungling for like 4 minutes in a row. Now you're pushing out lanes well, but then you're hitting towers, which is bad. What is happening? You have a Slardar chasing you. Do you know that? Oh, maybe he didn't show. I guess he was invis.
So I saw him at the tower. So here he shows.
I think it's a replay bug.
No?
I think he's shadow bladed. He has a shadow blade. So I think it's a replay bug that he was showing on the minimap. You weren't really looking at your hero, so it was hard to tell. But yeah, you don't see him. But even here, like, it's okay that he's like starting to attack you now. But even if the Slardar wasn't here, I wouldn't really like that you're like looking to jungle here. What I want to see you do, you're pushing out lanes, which is good. In terms of the part of the map that you guys want to play, you want to be playing in this area and controlling it. So like when you were up here, it was really good, and I really liked that you TP'd bottom to push that lane out because it was free and it was pushed all the way in. The high level play would have been to leave a remnant top and TP bottom, push it out like to here, like you did, and then not push the tower and go back to your remnant and like group with your team. If you need to, push in top again, and then like group with your team and fight them up here. That would have been the high level play. And the reason that you don't want to be down here, like whether it's jungling or fighting or anything, like pushing out the lane, good. Staying down here, bad. And it's because the enemy triangle is like the scariest place on the map. It's the place where they are most likely to be if they're just like casually walking around their own side of the map, like they're going to be here. And it's not near an important objective, which is Roshan, right? Roshan's very important. So there's just no good reason to like try and take control of this area. Like, A, it's hard because they can like, it's pretty easy for them to control with wards. Granted, you guys have better vision than they do right now, but just on average, it's easier for them to control. They're more, you guys don't have any way to TP here. They have 2 close by towers. Just everything about how the Dota map is laid out makes the triangle not a good place to fight them unless you guys are really strong and your whole team is there and you're like, we are just trying to fight you, right? And then you go to their triangle because you're like, even if you're here, we'll win. So pushing out bottom is really good. Leave that remnant top or whatever, or like, maybe you're a Lina with boots of travel, push it out on Lina and then walk away and then like, TP back to the other side of the map,
Yeah.
Because you want to play, so like I said, you want to push out the lanes, group with your team, right? Fight them, kill them, rinse and repeat, pushing out the lanes, top and mid usually when you're on Radiant. It's bottom and mid when you're on Dire and you want to play like down here. That's kind of the way that you want to, like, where on the map you want to be playing. Because then eventually when you are strong enough, you'll be ready to like take the Roshan, or you'll be ready like right post 20 minutes, you'll be ready to pressure the tower, take the Roshan. And you just don't want to be fighting them here on their side of the map in the meantime. You just don't. There's just no productive objective here for you guys.
Yeah.
And it's just easy for them to kill you. You're just making their game easier for no reason. Okay, so your team took Roshan without you. That's cool.
I created some space.
Sure, space created. So you TP top. I don't hate this. So here's why it's not... I like your idea of pushing out the lanes, but if we just watch what happened on the map, your team killed Roshan, right? Maybe I went back too far. No, go back further. So let's just watch the mini-map right now. Your team killed Roshan. None of them are pushing on top because, they're not good at Dota. That's okay. That's okay. So they go mid. And you respawn. I mean, actually, so here's the thing.
Should have gone mid.
Here's the thing. Your play is actually correct, but your team is so bad that it becomes incorrect. Here's the thing. You want to play top and mid. I was just telling you this, right? When you're on Radiant.
Yes.
To take a Roshan.
Yes, sir.
Once you've taken the Roshan, while you have the Aegis, or even if you lose the Aegis, while Roshan's not up, it's a little bit less important to take top and mid. Or like to push out top and mid. What is important when you're like winning and you have the Aegis and you've taken Roshan and it's no longer an objective you need to take, right? You've taken Roshan, so now you want to take their buildings, right? At that point, you need to pick 2 lanes. One of them is mid. And then you need to either pick top and mid or bottom and mid. And you need to control 2 lanes, and it actually doesn't matter as much which 2. So, given that it is okay because you guys have Aegis, like conceptually at like a high level Dota, to like your team pushed in mid and is controlling their triangle, this is actually something that high level Dota players do. Your team's not doing it because they're high level. They're just doing it because, the universe has entropy or something. It just happened.
But when I take a look on the minimap, I see the whole enemy team is done taking our tier 1 bottom lane. And they're there with the creep wave at their mid tier 2. Why don't they take it? So, I can't really... So, I think they could have taken this tower, the mid tower, tier 2, and meet up with me at their top lane, tier 2 bottom, and try to take that, or fight there, or whatever, because she has Aegis. But no, they just go to the triangle.
I don't think you're wrong. And I'm telling you, like, conceptually, you TPing top here, and if your team, instead of running into their triangle, had pressured this, or, like, played to, like, keep this pushed in and, like, played in this area, and meanwhile you TP top and push this in and then connected with your team who is playing here, hypothetically, that objectively would be a very correct way to play. So, like, I'm not telling you that this TP is like wrong or bad. I'm just telling you based on what your team's doing that like it ends up not being that great because it puts you on the opposite side of the map of your team with no TP. So
so I should have TP'd mid. Or what you think?
Here are your options. Here are your options. You for yourself know that TPing top is good because you want to push in top and pressure it, and so you just TP top. And your team is doing whatever your team's doing, and you're just playing good Dota for yourself, and whatever happens, happens. So that's option 1. Option 2 is you say, I know that TPing top is good here, but my team is running into their triangle, and they have Aegis, and, like, we want to fight them, right? You don't know your 8k head, but, like, you feel like you're strong, right?
Yes.
Your TA is strong. You're all alive. You all have your ultimates. I don't know if you know this, but the little green diamonds up here tell you if the ultimate's ready. Yes. Okay, I coached somebody that didn't know that. He was pretty new. But anyway, you all have your ultimates. You have Aegis. You're really strong. And you say, I know TPing top and pushing it out and my team connecting with me would be good, but they're not going to do that. So instead, I'm going to look to connect with them. And what I would do is... It's hard to say exactly what the correct play is because if you just TP bottom right now, your team's not going to be here. Yeah, you're just going to die. Yeah. So I would walk bottom. You can walk because you don't need to be here, but you want to push this out once they're gone. Because once they take this, you're probably going to leave, right? That's like what most people
not
do.
That sure about that, but yeah, they should.
Like if they take this, usually they back to their own side of the map. Or if they keep pushing as 3, they're like kind of crazy. They're like pushing into your tier 2 while you guys have Aegis. That's just nuts from them. So if they keep doing that, you can just kill them. So I would walk bottom here, push it out, because they're going to like push it in to you. So you're going to push it out and push it all the way out and basically do the opposite of what you intended to do top because your team's already here. So if you walk bottom and push it all the way out, then you can connect with your team in the triangle. Or let's say you walk bottom and by the time you get here, you like see that they're like under this ward and your team's running at them and they're about to fight like here under this ward. Right? That could happen. So like let's say you're here. So instead of pushing out the lane, you just go join the fight because you're like close by. Because the fight's going to be somewhere around where your team is. So looking to go join your team in that way would be the option 2. Like option A, screw what your team's doing, do what you think is correct. And in Herald games, that will sometimes be suboptimal. Option B is like recognizing what the correct play is and then not doing it to like join your crazy teammates. And the hard part about that is like if your team is like if your team's like behind or something, you should probably not do that because like you're just going to make it worse. But when your team is strong and ahead, separating from them is like not that good because this is going to allow the opponent to potentially either pick you off because you're separate from them or like fight your team advantageously because you're not there. Granted, neither is Jug, but... hit his healing orb. Nice. You're just gonna die here. Ha!
Yeah, I wanted to side of fish.
You can just remnant.
Away.
If you just remnant, it stops.
That's also a problem. Sometimes I can't really decide if I should go aggro on him or just leave him because he's stronger.
Well, he's not stronger than you though, because you can cancel his remnant. Like if as soon as he had started doing this, you would just like put a remnant down like. It can't be right next to you, I don't think, because then. But like, as long as it's like a little bit away from you, and then go to the remnant, his Omni Slash would stop as soon as you're like going.
As soon as I try. Yeah, I see. So you see, I didn't know that.
That's okay, and that's okay. That's these kinds of mechanics things. I don't expect you to know. I don't really mind that you're like fighting him. You're kind of like learning, and you said like, oh, like I didn't know if I should fight him. And he's stronger than me. He's actually not stronger than you. Because if you would dodge that damage, then you could have just run him down afterwards. It's okay. It's okay. So your team did end up fighting the bottom, by the way. It looks like an even trade, although your team's about to kill their mid. So, good fight for your team bottom while you were fighting the Jug top. Didn't work out because we didn't know mechanically what to do. But let's take a look at what happens now. You're going to have the same choice again. Join your team or go... push a different lane. Interestingly, your Witch Doctor TP's over that lane this time. I think this is fine to TP mid here and join your TA and your Bristle. I think this is fine. Nice. Getting some kills. It's reasonable. I think what you're doing is fine. I don't know why your TA is not here. You just have to be a little careful. Yeah, I don't know why your TA wasn't there, dude. I don't think what you were doing was that bad. Like, you just want to try and be aware. Like, maybe you could argue that was suboptimal from you because you should have noticed your TA wasn't there. In an ideal world, your TA would just be there, though. So I don't know what's going on. I can't flame you too much for that. I don't think you, like, misplayed or anything. And it still ended up being a good trade. You got their mid and their offlaner for, like, just you. So, it's 2 for 1. It's good. And what are you going item-wise? You're going crit. I don't think I like this crit. Ember is, like, very... Like, it's very important on Ember, conceptually, to just, like, stay alive.
I usually do Maelstrom, so Phase Boot, Maelstrom, BKB, and whatever. But somehow I decided this game I don't really need BKB. I don't even know why I was doing Chrysalis, to be honest, right now.
I don't think...
I'm sure I had an ID in the game.
Well, so, to me, I don't actually mind that you're not going BKB here, because they have Omni Slash, they have Slaughter Bash, and they have, like... And, like, Timber doesn't really... Like, you don't buy BKB for Timber. Like, yeah, it could help you, like, knock it Shackled, or it could help you, like, knock it Ice Path or something. But I don't think those 2 heroes alone necessitate buying BKB. I actually don't mind that you're not getting BKB here. I would... This is, like, pretty... Items are just pretty advanced. I'll just say, items are advanced. It's advanced knowledge of Dota and applying it is, like, what item buying is. So I'm not, like, flaming you that you're doing this wrong. I'm just going to explain what my thought process would be and, like, what I would want to get.
Please. Please do that.
So they have a lot of physical damage, right? And they have some heroes, Jug and Timber, who are very, like, dependent on, like, healing factor. Like, with Healing Ward, and then Timber's, like, reactive armor and stuff. So I think Shiva's is really good. Because Shiva's, you see the passive reduces the attack speed and all heals by 25%. So it just stops them from healing. And it gives you more armor. And Slardar and Jug are all, like, physical damage. So it's, like, good armor and reduces the heals. So I think Shiva's is pretty good here. Granted, Shiva's is, like, more defensive. So I think if you wanted to get an item that wasn't Shiva's first, I think getting Shiva's eventually would be good. I wouldn't rush Shiva's, though. Like, so from your items, like, Phase, Wand... nice job for buying a wand, by the way. Not enough players in Herald buy wands, so that's good. Good job. Phase, Wand, Bottle, Orb of Corrosion, Maelstrom. I think you go those items every game on Ember until you're, like, 3 and be fine. Good items.
Yeah.
From here, I think your options should either be BKB, Aghanim Scepter, or, like... Yules, or, like, Kaya and Sanj, probably. So
you, like, don't go, what is it called, Mjolnir? What's the...
Mjolnir? No.
Oh, no, I didn't mean Mjolnir. What's the other one which stuns or keeps them, throws that net on them? It's the advanced version of the Maelstrom. What is it called?
Yeah, Mjolnir.
Ah, that's it?
Yeah. Oh, Gleipnir, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Gleipnir. You know, I didn't think about Gleipnir. Gleipnir is also a good option. I would say that's an option as well. So you've got, like, Aghanims, BKB, Gleipnir, Yules, or Kaya and Sanj. I think are all pretty good options as, like, your third item. And it's tough, right? So Yules is... defensive. Like, if they have a way to silence you and you're gonna die if you just get silenced and they kill you, or, like, they use their spells on you, then you buy a Yules. Like, if they have silencer, or, like, I don't know, like, sometimes, like, Puck, sort of. Whenever you need like a silence, or like if they have an Orchid Rusher like Storm or Invoker, right, and they're gonna Orchid you, you get a Yules. So it's just purely defensive against silences. BKB is like they have a bunch of disables that are gonna kill you if you don't have a BKB. That's like pretty obvious.
Lion, Shadow Shaman, stun, X.
Yeah. Then you've got Gleipnir, which is like upgrading the Maelstrom with like the Atos.
If I need to catch them, right?
I wouldn't, honestly, I don't really like Gleipnir as like a third item. Like if you've got nothing in this slot and then you just go straight Gleipnir, you'll still have an empty slot. I mean, you could have like your Quelling Blade, you could have Quelling Blade or Raindrops, but like getting a 6k gold item is basically your first major item. It's just upgrading this mid-level item that you bought in the Maelstrom. I really don't like it. I think Gleipnir is a good item. I just don't think it's good to get like right after Maelstrom. So actually, I would downgrade Gleipnir. I wouldn't even include that as an option. I'd say BKB, Yules, Aghanim Scepter, and Kaya and Sange. Kaya and Sange is like, I want to do more damage, and these fuckers cannot kill me. Like, that is what Kaya and Sange is for.
If I buy Kaya and Sange, I usually buy Kaya first. And Sange, because on Void Spirit, I have it.
Yeah, you would buy Kaya first, for sure. And this is also usually like you're having a pretty good game. Like, if you're having a bad game, going Kaya and Sange is, like, not good. Usually in bad games, right, you have to buy, like, BKB and stuff. So yeah, Kaya and Sange is when you're having like a good game, right? And you're like, I don't need BKB. I'm just gonna like run at these guys and stomp them. That's when Kaya and Sange is really good because it keeps your mana up. It makes you a bit tankier with the status resist, and it just makes you do like crazy amounts of damage. So that's Kaya and Sange is really good for that. And then Aghanim Scepter is kind of like this middle ground of like it's a little bit defensive in that it like gives you more remnants and like you can get further away. But it's also aggressive.
Crazy range.
It's also aggressive in that it gives you more remnants and you can chase, right?
Yes.
So I think in games like this, where you like want to be like more aggressive, I think either Kaya and Sange or Aghanims would have been good as your next item after the Maelstrom. You don't need BKB, you don't need Yules. Just Kaya and Sange or Aghanim Scepter, pick one of those. They're the same amount of gold. They're 100 gold difference. So, those are like the only items that I think you should consider as like your third item or whatever, your next item after Maelstrom, basically. So if whatever guide you're using, you can even change your guide, right? Like add your Maelstrom up here, right? So these are like your 5 items, including the Maelstrom. And then down here, like your next items, just put those 4: BKB, Yules, Aghanims, Kaya Sange. Done. And then from there, right, then you can like, then it becomes more complicated, right? Getting an item after.
Then I should recognize the situation, which one I need in the game.
Which is way easier said than done, right? Like I said, Shiva's this game would be pretty good, but like it's hard for a new player to like figure that stuff out. So, and sometimes it's another one of those other items, right? Sometimes it's like I go Kaya Sange and then I get like the Aghanims, or like I go Kaya Sange, or I go like BKB and then I get the Aghanims or something. You know, it's really hard to figure out. But third item, that's what I would go. Crystallis is just not... If you want to do more damage, Kaya Sange is just way better on your hero than Crystallis is. Like, the crit is okay. But, like, going this, like, Crystallis, like, Daedalus, Glass Cannon-y stuff is really only good if they have, like, super squishy heroes, like a bunch of them. And even then, I would still say at your level, it's just going to be more reliable to get it, like, Aghanims or Kaya Sange both let you be really aggressive while also just give you more, like, HP, right?
It gets me more,
more HP, more mana. It just gives you more than just simple flat damage. Yeah.
Yes, sure.
That's why I would just never go, like, the Crystallis, like, next item. All right. We talked a long time about that. Do you want to look at another replay real quick? Because we've been talking for over an hour already. So you want to look at another replay, or do you want to keep watching this one and that's it?
It's really hard to tell, but let's take another replay, I would say.
Yeah, that'll be good. I like that. Pick your replay and send it in the Discord again. I'm just gonna go refill my water. I'll be right back.
Do that. All right.
Okay, so this is the second game.
Yes. So just FYI, I don't know if you even care, but we lost this game. But we were
That's okay.
watching the first one.
It doesn't even matter, right? Everything we talked about is going to be applicable whether you won or lost that game. And I am recording this, so you'll be able to watch it back later if you want.
Oh, nice.
I know it's really hard to like absorb everything like just on the first go around, right?
You know, there are so many things, but yeah, everything's appreciated.
So you're the Lina in this game?
Yes.
Nice.
I try to extend my pool with a range hero because all of them I played it, they all melee. And I really struggled against Sniper and Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
And Lina is also, for me, I try to take heroes which don't really need that diverse itemization. So Lina is also, for me, I think she needs like Boots of Travel, BKB, Scepter, and yeah, sometimes I buy, what's it called, Pike.
Oh, Hurricane Pike?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lina's item build is pretty simple. I would say Shadow Blade is really good.
Yeah.
Like Boots of Travel, BKB, Shadow Blade, or even Boots of Travel, Shadow Blade, BKB.
Mm-hmm.
That order can be good. But yeah, it's not very complicated. Item wise,
She has crazy range. Yeah, she has a stun. You know, I played a lot of Lion support, so her ulti is basically the same.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't get Scepter very often though. I don't think her Scepter is that great. If you do buy it a lot.
So I basically decide my first item, depending how the game goes, to be a Boots of Travel to push out the lanes, or a BKB if we are down. And then after that, depend, yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Boots Travel is always good. I think you should always get Boots Travel. I think you should almost always get BKB. I on the hero like Lina, there's like basically no times where you can't get BKB.
Well, what's the difference between getting in the early game 1 or 2 amulets?
Null talismans?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Null talismans used to be better, so like getting 2 consistently would just kind of be good because they used to like increase your damage and
mana regen.
Reduce your mana cost. Yeah, it still increases your mana regen, but it only gives you max mana now, which like just isn't that good. So I don't think it's worth getting 2 nulls anymore.
Okay, so you basically get the bottle, you get 1, and then you get the boots, brown boots, and after that.
There are some pros. I'm looking at Dota 2 Pro Tracker right now. I just pulled it up. So you can kind of see some people, like this guy got 1, this guy got 1, this guy got 0. He got a soul ring instead. A lot of these guys are getting soul ring. Some people are getting 2 though. So I guess getting 2 is still okay. Here's what I would say. Get your bottle, and then decide if you're going to need a magic wand or not. If you're going to need a magic wand, then get bottle, wand, 1 null talisman. And then like your boots, right? Boots travel. If you don't need a magic wand, because like the hero you're against mid like casts like no spells, right? Like last game you were against Slardar mid. Slardar mid doesn't cast any fucking spells.
Not really.
I don't hate that you got wand that game because it was good later, but like Lina specifically is a hero that just can skip wand because of the way the bottle works and like all that like she doesn't really need a wand if she doesn't need it for the lane. So get either wand, null, bottle, boots of travel, or get 2 nulls, no wand, bottle, boots of travel. That's how I would decide. So that way you're not never overslotting yourself. Like I wouldn't really be going like 2 nulls and a wand and boots of travel and bottle. Like that's a lot of items. It's 2 nulls, wand, boots of travel, bottle. I mean, it leaves you a slot, I guess, to like start building a BKB, but I don't know. I just wouldn't bother doing that. It'll like slow your boots of travel down a lot if you're getting 2 nulls and a wand. So that's what I would do. And it just keeps it simple, right?
Yeah.
So start doing that. I think that'll help you out. So you walked up here and you're harassing these guys. I guess it's okay. Okay. So here, I kind of don't mind what you're going for, but it's just really bad to try and trade in an enemy creep wave. So like you hit this guy, and these creeps aggroed onto you, and that makes this starting right now a bad trade. Because look at it now. You've taken no damage. He's taken half his damage. He's like hitting up here, and then he like came over here, and then you hit him again. So as of right now, this trade is perfect, right? Best trade ever. And now you hit him, he snakes you, the creeps hit you. All of a sudden, you lost half your HP, right? You're like, how did this happen? So what you
that's exactly how it happened.
So what you need to do here is like you already harassed him down well. I wouldn't even use this spell on him here because of this how this trade is going to go. I think you just have to keep walking up, like just ignore him kind of, walk back up here, and then like start laning so that you don't lose your HP. That or you can do what you did, but then you have to like run this way. You have to like run all the way around. And I'm not sure if these creeps are going to follow you the whole time. I don't think they will, actually. I think they'll turn around and hit these creeps. You'd have to like run away until the creeps stop chasing you. And then you could come back. That's pretty advanced. I mean, what you did is like not crazy bad or anything. It's just because you took that damage in the trade in the creep wave. Wait, so what happened here? It like went really bad for you. That's what I was gonna say.
If I want to be honest, I wasn't sure how his snakes works. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the snake just bounces to units.
Yeah, so 3, 4, 5, 6 times, whatever.
It starts at 3 level 1, and then it goes up every time by 1 point. So here, this is pretty important on Lina. Any hero that uses a nuke to secure a spell. This is a little high level, but I just need to put it on your radar because you're a mid player. You want to use your spells to hit the creeps and him at the same time, right? The next step is like you have to recognize which creeps are going to die so that like...
To deny them.
So no. So which creeps of theirs are going to die so that you can like get them. Because you start hitting this range creep here. But this creep is going to die soon. So you used your nuke. I think your nuke hit the range creep. Did it hit the range creep? Yeah, your nuke hit the range creep. So this is just bad. Bad usage of the nuke. And it's only by a little bit. And this is why it's like mid is kind of hard because you have to be kind of precise here. I wouldn't be attacking this range creep because I don't. You don't want it to get below half HP because then he could like try and deny it from you, right? If it doesn't get below half, he can't deny it. So like you attacking it can kind of only make things go bad. Like nothing bad is going to happen if it just stays at full health for now. Like you can get it later. So because you hit it down and then you attack him, it puts it in deny range. Or your nuke hits this creep, I mean. That's what I meant to say. And so it puts it in deny range, and then he just gets a free deny on you. So just don't be hitting that creep. Because then your nuke wouldn't have put it... Even if your nuke had hit it, it wouldn't have been in deny range, and it couldn't have got that deny. So only hit creeps that, like, you know you can get without them denying. Like, don't hit creeps that they're going to be able to deny, like, for no reason. Like, don't do it just to do it, I guess. Like, you were just hitting that range creep for no reason. And
you should try to...
These kinds of things are very advanced. Like, I'm telling this to a Herald mid player, and, you know, it's okay that you're, like, not doing this perfectly, but, like, that was what your mistake was there. So I just gonna throw it out there. Yeah, here you're just, like, this nuke is okay, although you really should be paying more attention to where he is. So, like, if you're... Like, you walked over here to eat a tree, that's fine. I need you to have your camera here. Because then you can walk to right here, and then you can nuke him this way, and you can hit the creep and him. But here, you nuke for this creep, but, like,
I mean,
this guy's here, but you didn't see him. So you didn't know, and you just completely missed him. And if you had hit him and canceled the salve, that would have been good. And you just weren't even looking at him. So it's just like a camera thing. Like, make sure you're looking, you know, at what's important to see the whole thing, to be able to, like, use your nuke super effectively. Because using your nuke to get one creep and not hit him is actually not a... It's okay. Like, at your level, I really do want you to get these CS, and if you have to nuke to get it, like, so be it. But, like, it's not super optimal. It's, like, if you're a high-level player, it's not good. If you're in Herald, it's fine, because I need you to get this CS.
Yeah.
But then here, this next creep, not this one, but then this next one, you're, like, hitting it, but, like, Lina's really hard, and, like, maybe go into last hit trainer and practice her, like, every day for, like, 10 minutes.
She hits for less than I'm used to, definitely.
Well, it's less, and it's slow. Like, her windup is so crazy that you're just auto-attacking, and your timing's just off. Like, you hit that creep, and it didn't kill it, and your hero attacks so slow right now, like, because without stacks of fire, soul, or whatever, that, like, you have no way to get this hero, because there's no way to get this creep, because your nukes don't go down. So, if you just hadn't been attacking it there...
Get used to it more, yeah. How Lina last hits, that's for sure.
Yeah, so here it's good.
But it's also...
Here you stopped, which is good. You just got to do that on every creep. You can never do this, actually. And it's like, conceptually, it seems weird. Because you're like, I want to do damage to this guy. But you need to think of your abilities as a mid laner, like in the first 5 minutes. A primary reason to use nukes. Tell me, what is it?
You get the creeps.
Get the creeps.
And dude, if it's possible, get him too.
That's B. That's B, and it's secondary.
Okay.
A.
All right. Only creeps. First 5 minutes.
Must use nukes to get creeps first 5 minutes. Must.
All right.
Never use your mana to just harass without getting creeps.
All right.
Just because what's going to happen is you're just going to run out of mana. Like, I need you to hit...
Like I do.
I need you to hit 3... I need you to CS 3 more creeps to get your bottle, and you only have 1 nuke left. And instead, you would have had 2 nukes, which definitely would have got you 3 creeps. Or at least 2, and then you would have last hit, like, 1 of them, right? Instead, you're going to... It just puts more pressure on you to have to get the last hits with your right clicks, which, like, you know, no offense, you're not that good at. That's okay. You're like, it just makes your own life harder, right? And it's just going to slow down your bottle. So you missed that one. Missed that one. You could have nuked there. Either one of those, or any 3 of those. You could have nuked them to hit him and get the creep at the same time. You didn't use it once. Use it now. You tried. You mistimed it, but you tried. That's what I like to see. Yeah, and because you wasted that one and then you missed the other one, which is life, you're not even close to your bottle, and 2 minutes is coming, which feels
Yes,
bad.
sir.
That's
Real
why
bad.
I think starting with this mantle is probably not good because it puts a lot of pressure on you to get a lot of CS. If you
So
look
you would
again
just
here,
go.
these are their starting items. These are all the starting items. So see, it's usually like 1 fairy fire and 3 branches and a tango.
I see.
Because you got fairy fire, tango, 2 branches, and a mantle, which is an extra 100 gold over if you just had a 3rd branch instead. So it's 100 gold, and if you had 100 more gold right now with the exact same amount of CS you already have, you would have had your bottle already. And imagine if you had gotten a CS with one of your new, like
3
one
more.
more CS. Yeah. Your bottle would already be here, right?
Yes.
Because you would have gotten it a while ago.
Mm.
You would have had the extra 100 gold, then you would have gotten the creep, and you would have flown it out, and you would already have it, and then you'd be able to regen to full. And instead, you're not going to regen to full. You're just going to pick up 1 water rune, which is good that you got. But you still don't have your bottle yet. You're not even. You are close now, but here, this is hard. But like, as soon as she snakes here, you want to like turn around. It's really hard to have that kind of reaction time. So I don't blame you too much. Oh, there again, that was a really bad nuke. You can't nuke like that. Yeah, because you put that ranged creep in deny range, and then he denied it. And if you hadn't nuked, that wouldn't have happened. So yeah, you still don't have your bottle. Feels bad. Okay, that's good. Good use. Alright. He's hitting you hard, but you got your bottle coming out. And you flew it to yourself faster this time, which I like to see. Yeah. So the way that works is it will bounce back until it runs out of targets. And so if you're like
But what is the range though? So how far do I have to...
is like, it's about this far, like between these 2 creeps. It's not, but like it's from whatever creep it's bouncing off. So from this creep here, it's like all the way to back here. So like you have to be outside of that range to not get hit by the snake bounce.
So sorry, but I'm not sure if I see your mouse.
So like
how are you sure?
The distance between your melee creeps to your range creep?
Yes.
It's like
I see
that, but like past the range creep towards your tower. It's like that same distance back. That's like about the max distance. So like right now where you're standing, you're like way out of range. Let me see if I can like pause it exactly. So like here, you're obviously in range. So like where you ended up standing, like right by the flag, you basically would have been out of range. But the problem is like it started going to before you got that far away.
Yes.
So right here where you're standing, you're like almost out of range here. And so if you'd been standing there when it hit this range creep, it probably wouldn't have bounced to you.
All right.
So that's about how far it is. It's a good question. It would have been okay to use the nuke to get that. If you're not comfortable. I think the last hit trainer will help you a lot though, if you just practice last hitting. This is a hard hero to last hit with. And yeah, here again, don't use your nukes like this. This is the same as Ember when you were using your flame guard, like for no reason. You can't casually use your nukes here. Also, your camera needs to be here so you can see this guy. But you can't casually use your nukes. It's so important that you use this mana to get creeps. None of these creeps are about to die right now. And what do? You get them all really low, but you give this guy a free...
So he can deny it.
So yeah, he just gets a free deny on you. So this is like mistakes that like Herald players do, and it just makes your life harder. And it's hard to see, like, you know, you're just trying to like play Dota and like use your hero spells, right? But if you use them on the creeps when they're at full HP and bring them into deny range, it just gives the opponent an opportunity to like get a free deny, you know?
Yeah, you see, that's a problem. I never even thought about it. I was just like trying to get them as fast as I can.
And that's why I need you to
Not
slow
thinking
down.
about bringing them half HP and give him the chance to deny.
Yep.
instead of focusing one and the other. And
Yeah, focus one creep at a time, use a nuke if you have to get it, and then focus the next creep. And try not to like damage the other creeps in the meantime so they don't get below half. And
makes sense.
if you think about that concept and then you go watch like Thompson, you'll see how it works. But you have to be thinking about it or you're not going to notice. Because he uses his nukes. He does. But he only uses them when he gets a creep.
Get the
for
creeps.
it. Yeah. Okay, so it's more bad last hitting. Yeah, definitely work on your last hit. The practice.
I will.
Here
So
you should
I
use
have
your
to-
bottle again.
I hope I will. We'll see.
Use it now. I'd rather you use both bottle charges already. Okay, now you're finally using it. Yeah, see, you're doing it again. He just gets a free deny again. Rip.
He got so many. He has already 11. That's crazy high.
Yeah. Use your bottle. Use your bottle. Nice, 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 nice. You're gonna farm this. So see, farming this isn't bad, but because you've kind of been wasting your spells when you didn't need to, you don't really have enough mana. I mean, you're gonna regen some of it, right? But if you use this rune and get both bottle charges from 0 mana, you're gonna be like here maybe, and then you're only gonna have like one more combo after this camp with using all of this, and then you're gonna be out of mana again. Versus if you're just like not casually using both spells in lane, you'll just have higher mana more often. And so more often, right, you can just throw out that Dragon Slave to secure one creep and like hit the opponent. And it's like being able to do that over and over. Because like this Medusa, he's not... Well, he is throwing out his... With Medusa, it's a little weird because her Mystic Snake actually gives her mana back the more enemies it hits. So it's kind of easy that way. You just throw it out all the time and then you just get mana back. But with Lina, you don't get mana back for your spells. So, like, you got to be a little bit more conservative with using them. And, you know, like we talked about, don't be so worried about doing it fast. Just worry about getting the actual creeps and take it slow. Another free... You've just given him, like, 3 free denies on range creeps in a row.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah. Alright. So you're jungling... Killing... This guy's snakes are super annoying.
Hello, this is Gabe Newell. Thanks for playing Dota 2.
So this is going to be just like last game. Oh, okay, no, you went back to base. I was going to say it was going to be like just like last game, where it was going to be 6 minutes, and you were going to have an opportunity to get a rune, but then you were going to be really low, but then you just keep back to base. Actually, I don't hate that TP, so that's good. It's not super ideal that you had to, but like, given that you were super low, I actually don't mind that you did it.
I really panicked there and he kills me. That's fine.
Yeah, no, that's okay, that's okay. So I'm fast forwarding a bit because we talked about the lane a lot. It's kind of all doing the same, so I want to like get a little bit into the mid game here. So you gank top.
I try at least, but I didn't really want.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad attempt. I don't want to like flame your like execution or something. I get what you're going for. Definitely just use all 3 of your spells all at once though. Don't like wait on your ultimate. That's the only thing I'll say. The rest of it, it's like whatever. This guy had his ult, you had your ult. It's okay. Here's the other thing I'll say, just about this attempt in general, is I'd rather you, especially if you don't have a rune, I'd rather you just keep farming. Also, remember to buy another ward again. You're actually out of stock this game, so it's not really your fault. But if you had a ward available, I'd want you to buy it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd rather you stay here. So you push it out, giving him another free deny. And you have your bottle charges, you're going to regen, but you're just not that strong yet. I know you have your ult, but I think it's better if you just keep farming for yourself. Like, you know, you're not always going to have... The enemy's not always going to have 16 denies against you. You'll usually be a little bit further ahead. But if you don't have a rune, like, just focus on your last hitting. I mean, I know we're not at 5 minutes anymore, but, like, you just want to get your boots of travel as fast as possible, right?
Yeah, that's also the dilemma when to leave lane and when to rather stay in the lane.
Yeah.
For me.
Lina, so I would just say, like, don't gank unless you have a rune. Like a good one. If you get a illusion rune, you can't really gank with that. But like if you get a DD, if you get a haste, if you get an invis, those are all really good ganking runes. Regen is not really a good ganking rune. I actually would not gank with a regen either. I would just jungle because you can use all your mana and then you can regen it all back. So regen runes are actually really good for just farming. So yeah, I would just say I don't hate that you're looking to help your team. I would just say without a rune, it's just not going to be worth it for you. Even if this had gone perfectly, it still would have been really close, and you would have been really low anyways. And then what were you going to do? Like even if you double kill them, but you like lose all your HP without dying, then what do you do? Right? You have to walk all the way back to base, chill to regen, and then like TP out to lane again. So like, I don't know if you realize this, but like, let's just see when you like kill this lion. You got 218 gold for killing this lion. That's all you got. 218 gold. Like one creep wave is like, I think it's like 130 or 140 gold. So this lion is worth less than 2 creep waves. I don't know if you ever thought about it that way, but it's actually not a lot of gold. Or like if you get 1 creep wave and farm 1 small camp, it's like the same amount as killing this lion.
Yeah. So I see your point, and I already thought about it. But as I left my lane, I tried to suggest also our Swen that he tries to come and kill these guys, but he just left to hit the camps.
Well, yeah, don't count on your teammates, man.
That's the thing.
Don't do it. They'll just disappoint you. Alright, so let's see what you do when you respawn. And then we'll probably wrap it up pretty soon.
Alright.
Okay, so the Medusa got your tower while you left.
Yeah.
It's really bad. I mean, you died, so like, it wasn't just like you could have came right back, but these are the downsides of leaving a gank, right? A, your gank didn't even work well, and B, you like lost your tower because of it. And that's, your enemy's a good player will take your tower. You're not always going to be against good players. So even if that exact thing happens,
also take his.
A lot of times they won't take your tower, but they could if they are good. So you're hitting his tower. I like that. When he's not here, you should be hitting his tower. It's really good. Nice. Okay, he shows up, you leave. That's fine. So I would have, if you're gonna buy the null, obviously this game happened before we had our conversation, but I would make sure you buy your second null as fast as possible once you have the gold. I think this game you're probably just not gonna buy it, which is okay.
No, I didn't. So
yeah, that's fine. Here you could have stacked to this camp, which is pretty minor, but if you're just looking at the clock, you just stack it, and then you can kill it.
I see.
That's okay. And then here you run bottom. You can't do this. What do you think you should do right now? What do you think I'm going to tell you should do?
Go back mid.
You gotta go back mid.
From the creep wave.
Look at this. There's a creep wave dying that nobody's getting the experience or gold for under your tier 2 tower. It's really bad. There's nothing else to say. Your number one priority as a mid laner has to be to like keep the wave pushed like at least to the river, and ideally like on their side, right? But like if you kill a wave and then you leave and the next wave meets at the river, that's fine, right? But this is the cardinal sin of bad mid laners, is letting creeps die to your mid tier 2 tower with nobody there. You just can't do this. So like if you want to farm this camp, fine. You have to go back mid after that. You have to. Like whatever happens to this gank, you weren't even needed for that, and you die. I mean, even if you had killed this guy, again, it wouldn't have been that much gold. You might have died afterwards anyways. If you had just gone mid, cleared it, and then started walking bottom, like you can judge for yourself if like it's going to be a good play or not, like as you're going down there. But when you kill this camp and then you walk bottom, you're giving yourself 0 options. You're saying, I'm going to go bottom and I hope it works, right? And if it doesn't work, then it sucks. But if you go mid first and you kill it, and then as you're walking bottom, you know, if you decide that it's not going to work, you can just like farm a creep camp instead. Like, right? If you're halfway there and you're like, this isn't going to work, then you can just like farm another camp, right? Or you're like, farm this camp. And then you can go back to the mid lane. But you just like overcommit yourself without getting the mid wave pushed out. And also, if you push out the mid wave before you do this, they will probably have somebody who, like, if you push it out to the other side, they have somebody that's going to react, and then maybe this Medusa's not even down here for this play, right? So it just sets it up way better for you guys. So let's watch a little bit more. TP mid. You could have walked mid, maybe. It's pretty important as cores to, like, Ember is like,
After TP.
I didn't talk about it a lot last game, but like to save your TP. I don't hate that you walked mid. It just like leaves you again. It just leaves you like few options. Are you gonna go back mid here? Pay attention. No, no, no! You're walking away from this. You're walking away from this. Yeah. So yeah, these are you're like these little rotations aren't working that well anyways, but honestly, if you kill this mid wave first and then you show up to these like ganks that you're doing and you still die, honestly, I'm fine with it. But because you're not like this is what
wasting
I care
that
about.
much.
This is what I care about, that you're walking away from creeps that are like on your side of the river in the mid lane. You just can't do this.
So I should always prefer hitting creeps instead to go and fire with them.
You should always push mid wave out past the river before going to like do something on a side lane.
I see.
I'm not saying never do something on a side lane. I'm saying if it looks like this, then you can never do something on a side lane. This means you can't do the side lane stuff. And if your team's flaming you, you got to be like, sorry, man, I got to push my lane out. You know?
I see. So, yeah.
All right. I think we should stop now. It's been a really long time. Hopefully you got a lot out of this.
I do. I also wanted to ask. I saw that you also do. You write analysis about the replays. So if I paper you, I don't know what was the fee of it. Can you watch it till the end, both games, and write something about it? What as you see in the mid-late game? So just I have a whole picture, not from only the early mid games, let's say.
I can. Well, so here's the thing. When I like do like a replay analysis or like a written analysis, if you want me to focus on the mid to late game, I'll do that. Just let me know. But then I'm gonna kind of skip. I'm not gonna like focus on the first like 15-ish minutes, right? And so if you want that instead of like focusing on the mid game, that's fine. But like, because what happens is that I can find like, 5 big mistakes and like, 20 small mistakes that you're doing in the first 20 minutes in like every game, right? And like fixing these like things sets you up so much better for the late game that like.
That's what I want. What's your
better?
Suggestions? How I could benefit from this the most? Yeah. So you think that's enough what we talked about right now, and for my level it's enough if I focus on don't wasting my skills, make sure I get creeps for it, don't go for dumb fights unless my lane is pushed out, and that's it basically, or there could be something else.
Yeah, well, so a lot of what we talked about in that Ember game in the mid game will also apply for Lina, right? It's like, look for the runes, push out a lane, but then rejoin your team. Like that's kind of what you should be doing in like the early or like the late early game and like mid game. And like even in the late game, it's honestly the same thing. I have a YouTube video that I can share with you where I'm playing a Mirana and I talk about this cycle in the game of like fighting. Usually I give it, this video is in the form of tips. So I have a tip that says fight and use all your buttons, and then the next tip is after you've taken a fight, go split up and split push, and then after you've done that, rejoin your team to fight again. So I'll like share this video, but like that's the whole thing. That's the whole tip of how to like play the freaking like mid game and late game. And it's just doing that well, and like it goes back to what we talked about in the Ember game of like that's how you split the enemy team up and make sure you have more heroes than they do, right? You push the lanes out, force them to react, gives you information, lets you take a fight with more heroes than they do. They have.
It's like
that's
really
how it
basic stuff.
It sounds basic, but it's hard to do.
But in the game, yeah, it is. It is. I think so I'm pretty sure I will try to arrange with you some other day or whatever when we got time to coach a little further. But I try to implement this stuff we talked about, and I see
for sure, man.
Where does it get me?
And if you want me to do something, focus on the mid and late game, like send it over to me and I'll do it.
What would you suggest? You just think that's enough what we talked about, and I should practice that and implement that?
Oh,
or...
yeah. For now, I would just focus on what we talked about today. I don't want to like overwhelm you. Like I already gave you like, 10 things that you can work on, whether it's like, managing your spells, checking the runes earlier, thinking about your items a little bit more, like, all these kinds of things. And like I don't want to overwhelm you, right? Like you're still like at this stage where you need to like kind of focus on like one thing at a time, two things at a time, and really practice it. Otherwise it's just not going to sink in. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that. I would say play at least like 30 to 50. I don't know how many games you play a week, but I would say play like at least 30 games again, and like focus on what we talked about today before you like reach out for more.
All right.
And you could even play more. Like if you play a lot, I don't know how much you play, but if you play like 5 games a day.
Really.
Then... Okay.
I try to do like 3 games a day, but not every day. I manage to do that, real life.
Yeah, so maybe you're playing like 10 games a week. I would wait at least 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks before reaching out for like more. And I think you'll get, if you really focus on these things and like practice them and implement them, like you will gain MMR. I promise you.
Yeah, hope so. So in the end, we do this for the MMR, but I enjoy the good games, and the bad games just they bad. They're really bad. And also, can I ask one more stuff? What do you think? How many active items our level should use? So where I have to push like, I don't know, BKB, 4 staff, whatever I have to push. So it's like 2, 3, because sometimes it gets too much if I have to like use 4 or 5 items. Like use whatever, BKB, I don't know what else.
I mean, I can't put a number on it. Like, if you are having trouble thinking to like use all your items, I think it just takes practice. Like, I know you're not the only one. My cousin, he is in like Legend. And I would play party games with him, and he like would die without using his items sometimes. And I'd be like, "Why didn't you use your items?" And he'd just like forget. He's like a Legend, right? It's not just people in Herald. So I think you just have to buy the items you think you need to buy. Don't like self-impose a limit. And if you're like forgetting to use them, man, just all you can do is try and do more. But I wouldn't like change what items you're buying based on the number of buttons. It's just something you got to get used to. You know, some games you end up with like 5 buttons you need to press, and it's really hard. And some games, you know, you don't have a lot of buttons you need to press, and you don't have to think about
Yes,
it.
sir.
But I wouldn't
Yeah.
change your itemization based on something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you very much.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You
Catch
too.
you later.
Thanks for your time. I'll catch you later for sure.